Hello. I want to go over the New Era announcement stream. Now, it was a very long stream, so I want to keep it shorter and only cover some of the things, not all of them. Um, Specifically things that are a repetitive addition to the game. So new mechanics that will stay with the game, and they're not a seasonal event. So we'll talk about equipment, milestone of radiance, imprint circuit. I'll skip these events. Basically, new heroes. You can watch that on your own time, and then a little bit about God of Battles Coliseum, because I assume it will be a content that comes back time after time. Right. So starting with equipment. Right. So bulk enhancement. Right, so now you can select up to 16 items at once and either upgrade all of them to +3, choose some of them to upgrade to +6, and or you can choose how far you want to upgrade it, right? So it seems like a very good addition. I think this is great. Basically, anything that reduces the amount of time we spend in unnecessary menus and clicking is a great addition. I love this. More of this. Let's see how this does in practice. But the idea for such an improvement, I think, is a very, very good idea. Another change they introduce is that there will only be 2 types of charms, and I assume powder. So before we had one for each equipment type, plus these. So you had swords, chests, helmet, and boots, and then you also had equipment charms. Now it's only equipment charms. And then you had rings and necklaces, and this, so no more rings and necklaces, it's only this. Great addition, reduces a lot of annoying management, makes things easier, more straightforward. I love it. Great addition. Another thing they're introducing to equipment is the ability to transform them into otherworldly equipment. How much of this currency will we have? How often will we get it? Who knows? So, good idea, but it's probably not going to be a very common currency, right? So, sure, good addition, I guess, but it's not going to be very impactful because it's not going to be a lot of it. Another thing they're introducing is Mana Control Catalyst, which allows you to ignore one substat and upgrade an item to +15. Again, great addition, but how much of this will we get? How often will we get this? Yeah, time will tell. Looks neat, looks great, great addition. But again, how much, how often, nobody knows. Another small change is Astrium. Right, so before you just get Astrium from the Epic Pass, or whatever pass it's called, and now they will give out Astrium in other ways, so you can get at least once a month. They also changed a few things, like you can carry over 30,000 points from last Astrium into the next one, once you lock in your piece, so you don't waste all the points. Yeah, I mean, good addition, great. I'm not a big fan of the Astrium event because it's just a time sink. So, like, all this rolling is not something I look forward to in a game. I don't want to spend time rolling a piece of gear. It's not fun for me. It's not interesting. I much prefer the events they have now, where you just over time you just get the stats that you want. and don't waste time rolling, because you roll it and then you have to roll it again to plus 15. It's just annoying, but sure. I mean, better than before, right? So it is what it is. Another introduction is to the RTA system, where AI will gather data of drafting and suggest picks you should take at that point in time. So if you can see here, it's suggesting picks you should take. Now, I think this is a fine addition, but it would be better if I could just click on one of them and it just selects the hero for me, if I have it. This is data-driven AI assistant, so time will tell how useful it is, but it's surely useful for newer players. Again, I just wish you could actually click it directly instead of having to cycle through the heroes. Other than that, yeah, sure, good change. Not much I can say about it. It's fine. Then we have the Milestone of Radiance, a new system for, well, farming. So you basically get a few different kinds of chests, and they have arguably very good rewards. And they didn't go into too many details of the numbers. You just get them from farming. Like, whatever you play, when you play content, you get these chests. And then supposedly you can upgrade them to the next level or something. It's not very clear. So just know that there will be a new system where you can get freebies. It's great. With the numbers, the details, we'll know once it's actually out. I mean, yeah, sure. Then they have the rewards, if you haven't seen this yet, but basically you get a bunch of ML5s. I won't go into too much detail about that. The shop is changed as well to be more compact, so you see more things at once, less scrolling. Great, love it, all good. They unlocked the other Grace of Growth slot for free. Great, this should have been done a long time ago. Finally, you don't have to spend resources upgrading a unit just to do Abyss and never use that unit again. I'm looking at you, Karis. She's level 4, and yeah, I never used her again. I forgot. I haven't used her since like stage 70 or 80. I don't know, 90, whatever. Haven't touched her. I hate her. I wish I could just get those resources back and never see her again. So Grace of Growth, very good for newer players, older players. Well, it's good to try it heroes still. Still a good change. Okay, another system will be the Circuit of Imprints, or Imprint Circuit. So, not too many details on this, exactly how it works. We just know we get some stats, no speed, apparently, and you spend the resource. How much do you get of this? How often do you get it? You have to choose a few heroes to get these stats. How does it work? How many can you put in? I think it's 5. Can you swap them out? How often can you swap them out? We don't really know. I'm not a big fan of this change. It's just more complexity without much fun. I mean, they do mention they're looking for a better progression system for players. People who are already at the end game, they don't feel like they can get any more progress. But to be fair, the only progress in this game is just gear. It's the most random thing, right? Once you have your characters, it's just gear. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this circuit, imprint circuit thing. I just think it's more complexity for little fun or satisfaction. I think, yeah, we'll see how it is in practice. I mean, definitely something to use, but it's just, I'm not a big fan of these systems that are overly complex and like don't really contribute much to the fun of the game. Like, it doesn't look fun to me. Maybe it looks fun for other people. I only speak for myself. So another thing is more friendship, level 15. All new heroes get an illustration once you reach that level of friendship. And older heroes just get more points or more Mulagora, I suppose. It's fine. I'm not a big fan of the friendship system. It's a very slow, annoying grind. and it's inefficient because sometimes you want to get the points early because you don't want to Molagora your unit to plus 15. So I wish you just got Molagora instead of points for that unit. Just give us Molagora. It's yeah, I don't like it because of that. Like, there's a unit that I don't want to plus 15 because my Molagora is limited, and like that extra skill will not make a difference because of how the unit is used in my use case, right? Like, if you have healer or tank units that you probably don't usually max out their S1s. So I'd like to use the friendship skill points early and then keep the Molagora for other units. So yeah, I mean, it's fine. I guess it's okay. I'm not too excited about this. Again, I don't think this is a very fun mechanic, like the friendship. It's just a slow, boring grind, at least for me. I guess the only other thing is that you actually get friendship points from content where you couldn't get it before. Again, fine. There's also some other progression system for your soul XP or something, where if you're level 70, you get more XP now. Yeah, they didn't release too many details about it. It's just another progression system, so people have like a sense of progress, I suppose. Again, not something I'm excited about. What is interesting is Guild War. So they are going to suggest the copy feature, right, where you can just take the teams of your previous guildmates and just copy their team, and it's in one click. Great addition, I love it. You probably can't copy the stats, right? They also teased the idea of scout notes, which sounded amazing, but then they backpedaled. Not on the video, but they wrote it in the chat here. We can't see it. You would have to click this. But at some point they backpedal, and they say that, oh, actually, like this system here, like they backpedaled on this system. So these are scout notes from your guildmates. When they hit something, you get the full data, right? I mean, of course, you couldn't get the full data. You wouldn't be able to get the stats. That's cheating. But they backpedaled and they said the only thing you get is just HP or something. If that's the case, it's pretty bad. Like, I hope, like, any artifacts that show up should be in the scout notes. Any equipment that shows up should be in the scout notes. Like, if there is injury, if it has an effect, if it has counter effect, injury effect, like, you should be able to tell that. Of course, like, speed and effectiveness, it should not show, but things that are obviously there, it should show, but I'm pretty sure it won't. And artifacts, yeah, they should only, once it shows in game, the scout notes would have it. Speed, yeah, I think it goes into cheating, right? But at least some form of like, at least this CR bar you should be able to see. That would already be useful, like, even if you don't have the numbers. But they backpedaled on this, so we have to see how much how developed the system is, and I hope they develop it over time. But yeah, this is a great addition. Not having to write scout notes, just having it in game. Yes, please, more. I love it. Great. And finally, the final content that is kind of going to be repeatable, I assume, is the Battles Coliseum, or God of Battles Coliseum, which is kind of like Orbis Gladiatorium, but it's real-time. So it's PvE real-time arena, right? It's against NPCs real-time arena. I kind of like this, honestly. I'm not a fan of RTA, but if they have support heroes for this, I think it's good. It's low stakes tryout for arena to prepare people for arena, right? Of course, this is probably not easy to implement, to actually have AI to make choices like drafting. I imagine it would not be easy. So the fact that I decided to do it really shows that they felt it was necessary or positive for the community. Um, yeah, I mean, I think this is an interesting idea. I'm more excited about this than any RTA changes, where it's such a big barrier to entry and stakes are. Well, I guess some people are less competitive, but if you're competitive, it's very nerve-wracking. Stakes are high, and they admitted themselves in the video. Well, I think that's mostly it. I went over not all of the things, but the things that I care about a little more, and things that I think will be additions to the game that are not just like a timely event, right? You will still have the new heroes, new characters. You can check that out by yourself. All the rewards for new players and old players. It's very good. Gift codes, great, amazing. So I covered what I wanted to. Hopefully, it is useful for you.